Hi there.
Hi, Joanne. How are you?
Hi, Johnson. I didn't have a chance to take off my baseball cap or get out of my little office today.
Oh, you're fine. I just fixed my hair into a better ponytail. So I'm like right with you.
I had that up and I was like, oh, let me just put on a cap and just
Yeah.
a little bit of lip gloss and yoga gear still on. Here I am.
Yep. Join the club. Join the club.
Yeah,
How are you?
I'm good. Where are you? Are you in Dallas?
No, I'm in Virginia Beach
Wow.
actually.
Okay. You can never really assume people's phone numbers or anything where their number came from with all that too. So,
Yep. I'm originally from Dallas, so that's where my um, what's it called? The extension at the beginning of the phone.
and
So
mine too. I have a 214 number.
really?
We're actually in Keller, Dallas Fort Worth area.
Oh my
That
gosh.
I'm moving to Evexia in the next month with my husband. So we're going through that transition, which is going to be a good change. We've been in Texas, God, 19 years. My kid, they were 3 and 5 when we moved here. Now they're older, they're out of school. And I work virtual or remote for Evexia, as our director of client relations. And so I do a lot of onboarding, with all that. And I get out there maybe 3 or 4 times a year. I go out on a Sunday, I come back on a Friday, work with our team, all of that. And we're just growing and doing so many things. And they've always kind of been like, it'd be really great if you would move. I'm like, I don't know. I got to talk to my husband. You got to get him out here. He's got to look at Connecticut. We got to talk some good money and all that. So that's all kind of come into that. So
Yeah.
our house was put on the market a month, 3 weeks ago. That is sold. We're at a rental place in Connecticut. I think we just bought a house today, or now our realtor guy called us back and he's like, there's 3 bids on this. So what's your best? And they want a best and final. I'm like, I am so busy today. I cannot deal with any of this. I'm like with my husband, Bruce, please deal with this.
Yeah. Oh my
With all
gosh,
that.
how exciting.
Yeah. So it should be pretty good. Yeah. The house market, just crazy hot.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
So I grew up in Plano, actually.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
still Dallas Fort Worth area, but
Yeah.
I've had a few friends that have stayed there, and they recently bought a house in Prosper, and it was the same type of thing where it was just the craziest house market.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that's a big move though, going up to Connecticut from
Hmm.
Texas.
I know. Everybody's like, are you going to deal with the weather? I'm like, I spent 10 years in Chicago. I was
Yeah.
born in Wisconsin. I just need to get acclimated to colder weather from time to time.
Yeah.
But it's a great move. And Avexia is a fantastic company and we got so much going on and
Yeah.
it'll, we just keep growing and people finding us and, it's just all good. We're still very small. We're like 20 employees. And we've been around 14 years, but we
Okay.
just, we've been doing this 20 years and people just, it started 14 years ago, with mostly chiropractors getting into functional medicine and ordering blood chemistry. And now it is the whole spectrum of clinical nutritionists and NTPs and dietitians and acupuncturists and pharmacists and health coaches. I'm
Mhm.
sure nurse practitioners. It's like, how do you find us? Oh, you're on a private Facebook group that you guys are really reasonable and a great company to work with. So
Yeah.
that's kind of
That's
what that's.
That's
Yeah.
precisely how I found you guys. So I graduated as an FNTP in January of last year and immediately got into HTMA, hair tissue mineral analysis testing, because I didn't even know we could run labs. And I was like, wow, that's really interesting. And I just went full force into that. And
Mhm.
then now I'm realizing there's so much else out there that I would really love to be doing too. And so I just decided, like, this has become my passion, is really figuring out what we have access to and how it works and how we can make it really easy for for our clients. And just kind of navigating those waters is just really interesting to me. So I really appreciate you letting me record this call for the Facebook group. I know they'll be really interested to see and hear everything you have to say, because people have mentioned your name specifically in the NTP group, that you were just super fantastic to work with and really helpful and everything. So
Mhm.
awesome.
We have people that are like, "Oh my God, where have you been?" And like, you're making a world of difference. And I can order labs now rather than telling my clients to go back to their doctor and try to get a GI map done or a
Right.
sure. Any with that and being able to, oh, it's just, we don't work with every single lab partner or provider. We try our best to really negotiate prices and work with some of these labs. It took us like a year to get Dutch on board because we know we wanted them, but we tell all of our lab people, our partners too. I said, we've got volume. We have people that just, we're a good resource for people that can actually have all of that in one place where it makes sense. And we have, no minimum requirements. I can't say enough about our support team, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a great group of client services folks with that. We have a creative director that makes customized marketing sheets and videos, and we're integrating with more and more EMRs. We're trying to bring out Practice Better. They put us on hold back a while ago, but we've got some areas where those labs will go into medical records, and I just we've got Dr. Sedano on staff, our director of clinical education and support. He reviews results within an hour or two, explaining parasitology and bacteria and questions and things like that. And, we house a lot of neat things too. I think from the client resources section, I keep having our group. I'm like, okay, we need some more, webinar content and videos and some things we do, but we kind of have that. And there's so, as you know, Jensen, there's so many good mentorship programs and this whole family of functional medicine. You can always get access to webinars and FDA, everybody just is really supportive, of all this too. So we just try to kind of put things where it makes sense in one place. We're one really good driven customer support team with that. We've got this info@evexiadiagnostics.com email on every page. That's answered by Danielle Miller, our client services manager, in like 15 or 20 minutes. We really, I think, do a really good job, of that. And really, we don't have a sales force. I mean, if you would call me a salesperson, we have people like FDN and School of Applied Functional Medicine and, mentorship programs and people that kind of, hear about us and kind of, I heard about you from so-and-so and all that too. So, the momentum just keeps going. We don't do any insurance billing. So I do have some practitioners that are like, oh, they want to run that through insurance. We're all, for the most part, cash-based. We either bill our clinician's credit card on file when those results come back, or the ability that patients can pay Evexia directly, for their labs using flexible spending, health savings dollars. They can get a copy of a receipt, for that, but they can do that with LabCorp orders. They could do that with Dutch or anything with that too. We have a neat little way that we can, ship kits directly to clients, patients, for those specialty labs. They can also pay shipping if we're doing that. But did you have a chance to kind of navigate through with that, or is there anything you want to see, or just go walk through anything?
Yeah. So
I wasn't really, exactly sure what you kind of wanted to do outside of, thank you. I love it when people hop on my time trade, because we have so many people that sign up with Evexia that are kind of like, they get a username and password, but they've never had trial credentials. So that they're like, what do I do? Where do I go? What can I do? And I'd like to say, as I do my walkthroughs with that, our test menu is a little overwhelming, but it's kind of drilled down to where you can find sample reports, uses of that test, and kind of everything kind of in one place with that. But I do have people that are like, and everybody's different. How do I create an order and a Evexia link for LabCorp? And how do I order kits with all that too? But I think you'll see, you'll be in really good hands. And so, what, any other questions you have, or you want to walk through, I'm completely yours.
Well, thank you. I was more curious, because I know you guys have quite a few tests available, and I didn't see the pricing on those in what I was looking at. I wanted to know what kind of the most popular tests were that you guys tend to be, sending out for people. Is it just kind of across the board?
It really varies. Well, first of all, the pricing is all there. So
I must have been looking in the wrong place.
With that too, if you are on the test menu, or if you, do you want me to screen share, or you want to walk through any of this?
No, it's
or
okay.
no?
I'll go back and look at that. I must not have been looking in the right place. I honestly ended up on one of the webinars and I was
Oh,
watching one of the webinars for a while today, but yeah, so I'm sure I'll be able to find that. That's not a big deal at all. How long does it typically take to get test results back?
that's also laid out in the test menu as well. So like when you log back in, there's going to be a test menu, and the whole middle section is really busy with different pictures, and there's a keyword search area, and then some conditions and things like that. And below that, in the whole middle section, it's going to say like GI map, organic acid, salivary hormone, Dutch, food inflammation. Those are just there at the top because they're very popular, and it makes it really easy to find that and order a test kit with that. We do a ton of GI maps, although Doctor's Data's got their GI 360, Genova's got their GI effects. It all depends on what you like or how you were taught or what you learned with all that too. But when you click on that, it'll take you like GI map. It'll say $287. It'll give you information on that. It'll give you a sample report for each thing that we do. So it's an actual result from Doctor's Data or hormones or precision analytical. Kashi is a great lab for genetics. We got 3 different, food inflammation partners with all that too. Doctor's Data does some great hair essential elements and heavy metals, urine toxic, and some things with that. So it's really the other way to find that is there's these little boxes that are at the top that are just, they're called featured because it makes it really easy to order that. But then there's just like a lab icon that says Genova Diagnostics. And if you click on that, it's going to give you an alphabetical order, 44 tests that we offer through Genova. It looks like it's a lot because some of them are like add-on Zonulin or add-on with all that too, but it's an alphabetical order. So you can see GI GI effects, 1 day or 3 day, 379. So when you click on that, it's going to give you that information. It's going to give you turnaround time. So it's the actual turnaround time from that lab.
Okay.
Genova is like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
A GI map is about 8 days now. Some things, Doctor's Data and Labrix, 2 to 4 days. So it's all, as soon as we get it back, it's populated, it goes right onto your Evexia account. But each one of those will give you a really good description of what that lab is, sample reports, and what your price is.
Okay.
That's on there. That's the middle section. So then to the right hand side of that is very specific, kind of below the logout, below the whatever, welcome Texas user, whatever your trial credentials were. And there'll be a section in there that is just for LabCorp. So a couple things that are great in there. It's an alphabetical order. You type in B12, your price is $9, a CBC $5, a TSH $6. And it just, each one of that, when you click on that, it actually takes you to LabCorp, also for like reference ranges and tube requirements and all of that. But that's how you can find
with the LabCorp, with the blood serum, because everything I've done has always been you take your sample at home with like a stool analysis or hair or something.
Mhm.
So what happens when the client does want to do a LabCorp? When do they just order it and then they go to LabCorp with their order form? Do they have to pay anything when they get to LabCorp?
No, they don't pay for anything at LabCorp. There is a draw fee that is $7. Last week it was 10, so we finally negotiated that down. But the patient doesn't pay that, or the client doesn't pay that at LabCorp. Let me just step back to one other thing too. So take a look when you go back into the trial credentials under the test menu to the site. You'll see individual pricing for LabCorp. Then below that are some Evexia panels that we put together over the last 6 months or so. So there's like basic wellness panels at different price points. There's cardiovascular panels, there's cognitive decline, there's cancer, there's hormone, there's anemia. They're all right there. And everybody has those panels already and they're orderable on Evexia. There's no box kit with LabCorp. It's an order form. That's really all that needs to be generated. There's a great little section in that area as well too, that you can price out. You can build your own custom panels and name them any way you want to. It walks you through, it's called a panel creator. So you'd put in a CBC, a CMP, whatever you want to do with that. When you get to $50, there's a 5% discount. If you ever are building a custom panel that gets upwards to $200, it'll say you are $12 away from 10% discount. And then right in there, you're able to finish your panel, and then you name it any way you want to. And that's kind of like your custom panel.
Oh,
so with all that too, but to actually create those orders, then it's right on your Evexia account. You'll be able to see some of it. It won't let you create orders. And I think it looks a little ugly because people play around and register patients and try to order test kits and do some things with that. But it's a tab that's called Evexia link in parentheses lab orders. And what that does is you register each client. You go into that, Joanne, Iverson, date of birth, email address, for the most part, and male, female, information that's in there. And then once you click on that, you've got your client, i.e. patient, and, in the directory. And then it's either going to ask you if you want patient pay added, then it gives you that flexibility at the end of the order. Either the order goes to your patient to pay, or we charge your credit card after those results are back. If a patient pays us, client, they are paying us upfront. They can't get their LabCorp order until they pay, or we won't ship them a Dutch test until they've actually paid for that with that. But it's a Evexia link. It's called in parentheses lab orders, and you just register the client. Then it's going to walk you through, do you want to order LabCorp or is it specialty labs? And it's kind of like a tree effect. It'll come up with that. Do you want to order you want to order one of the Evexia panels that we put together, or a tab? Do you want to order from my custom panels? And then you could see, Jensen's hormone panel, Jensen's weight loss panel, whatever you want to name that with that. And then again, you just add the panel to the cart. You place the order. It'll let you know that there is it'll let you know that there's a $7 draw fee at LabCorp. Whoops, what happened? Sorry, you still there? Whoops. I made you go away. It'll remind you can't do this in New York, New Jersey, Rhode Island. There's a $10 or a $7 draw fee for LabCorp. And then for our non-licensed practitioners, there is that $15 doctor's order requisition fee, which allows you to place those orders, through Evexia. I got to look at everybody's credentials in different states are different. And there's some states that are recognizing clinical nutritionist consultants or CNCs or CNSs. Some dietitians can order labs under their scope of practice. There's a neat little cheat section on Evexia it's under the client resources section as well. It's called a state lookup, that you can scroll down, you can type in Arizona and you can see, a DC and an MD and naturopathic doctors and acupuncturists can order, but it'll give you a little area in there of anybody that's a practitioner that has to use the Evexia network, for placing those orders. And that is a $15 requisition fee. So it just covers those orders are under Will Blankenship or Dr. Watkins or an Evexia doctor licensed in the state of where that patient is with that too. So that $15 covers us ordering that really on your behalf and you being able to order those labs. That's really it. If the client pays, if you like the Evexia option where they can pay us for labs rather than going to your credit card on file, then they do pay that $15 fee. Think of it, if the order goes to the client to pay, they pay everything. They would see Evexia thyroid panel, $75, a $7 draw fee for LabCorp, and they would see $15 for a requisition fee. For covering those labs with that. But once you place that order, if it's getting billed to you, then within 20 seconds, right next to that patient's name or that client's name, you're going to see an order that's going to say it's going to have an order ID number. It's going to say view requisition, and there's an action line that says, or it'll say requisition ready, view requisition, and that is just it's a LabCorp Evexia order. So it's a barcode scanner. The order for LabCorp is already in their system, but it's just the first order of that form, or the first page will have patient's name information. It's under Evexia. That'll be in there, and then it'll, TSH, CBC, ferritin, iron, magnesium, whatever it is. Even if it's a panel, it's still going to break that out and show everything that's in that. So LabCorp knows, what they're going to draw for that. The second page of that order has a link for patients or clients, how to find the nearest LabCorp draw center. They can schedule online with LabCorp, although they are all walk-in,
Yeah.
they can do that. And it's a PDF that stays in there until they actually go take that lab order, and that I think that expires like 6 months. There's a section in there that if you create an order and they decide that they don't want to go through with it, or you make an order for you ordered a Evexia basic panel and you're like, oh, I really wanted to add zinc on, you can't go back to modify that order, but you can cancel the order and then you just redo it. It's like 3 steps. You register a patient, you either order individual tests or panels, or it'll take you with a patient pay. Are you ordering LabCorp? Are you ordering specialty labs? If you click on specialty labs, it's going to come up with different boxes. Do you want to order from Diagnostic Solutions? Do you want to order from Genova? Do you want to order from Precision Analytical? And when you open that up, it'll be like, oh, here's the Dutch $250, or Diagnostic Solutions, GI map, add-on Zonal. It just walks you through all that and that order with all that too. But it's a really easy process with that. You just got, I guess I should ask you up front, are you, in a situation where you've got, certain packages and for your program that your clients will pay you, and you'll give them a flat price, a charge for their labs on top of, consultation, going through whatever with all that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to do that. I just kind of roll it all in together into one fee if I'm doing a package deal. So yeah, that all makes complete sense. So when we get the results back, do you guys have a thing where we're able to get on the phone with one of the doctors and like get help with the interpretation, or is there any support after getting the results?
Yeah, so there is. So even on the trial credentials, if you poke around and you go to the lab results section, you'll see an example GI map, and I think you see an example LabCorp for John Doe or Betty Joe or something with all that too. So when you have brand new results back, we do not email you a PDF. You are ordering in your Evexia portal, and your results will come back there. So you'll get an email notification once a day at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, letting you know you have new results. If you've logged into the Evexia account in the middle of the day, it's going to recognize that you've already looked at a result, so then you don't get that email notification. You can get a text notification as well. So again, it's just kind of letting you know that you're looking at a phone. Oh, I got something from Evexia. Results are there. So that'll be right there on the lab results tab. And then it'll be exactly the way that lab result is. We are not a testing laboratory, so nothing on there says Evexia. It's exactly a Genova result or LabCorp, whatever it's going to be with that. It's a PDF. All of it's downloadable. It's stored. The results never go away. They're all in there. That you can download it, email it, to your clients, set up a time to go over whatever you want to do with that. You were asking me a question that I skipped over because I totally forgot. I don't know why I am so busy today. I mean, like I have 30-minute time trades like all day long, which never happens. And then I'm like, oh my God, where am I?
I was wondering about interpretation. Like, is there
interpretation? Thank you. Thank you. So when you have that back, please look under the client resources section. It'll give you a little bit on Dr. Sedano and his bio. With that, he's a DC, he's a DAPC, he does some speaking events, a diplomat. He's like a really great Ask the Doctor on staff with Evexia. So there's 2 services with that. I kind of will walk through how Ask the Doctor works. So there is a free service that's on your Evexia account. It's on the left-hand side. It's called support requests, and it looks like a person with a headset on. It's called support requests. That takes you to ask the doctor. So the free service is kind of like an email chat. It's your personal communication in your Evexia account. It is a matter, you go into support requests, ask the doctor. It'll ask you, the first line will say, do you want a live consultation? And then you sign up for that, and it takes you to his calendar, which is only a day or two, off. You're not like scheduling 2 weeks off to talk to him with anything with that too. We do charge for that. That is $75 for 30 minutes. It's broken into a 15-minute segment as well too. And so you're actually signing up a Zoom meeting or phone, whatever you want to do with that. The free service is right on your Evexia support request, where you're going in and you're putting in the patient or the client's names, or it could be a general question, a general question on Dutch. What did I see the last week? Do you stop taking birth control before doing the Dutch test? Well, doctors, whoever this clinician was, replied back in there that said, no, you don't, but keep in mind estradiol and some of the hormones because you're on birth control, blah, blah, blah. Maybe not, you're going to, maybe there might be reference ranges with that. But otherwise it's a general question. What do I do for methylation? What's the difference between a GI map and doctor's data, GI 360? Or just a sentence in there where you're going to put in the client's name or patient's name. And it'll give you a paragraph section in there that it's as easy as this. Please review this organic acids. Please, I don't understand if this is SIBO. I don't understand parasitology on this GI test. What do I do, with that? Or, I'm working with a client, 55 years old. She suffers from, hair loss and eating, whatever, constipation, whatever conditions are with that too. Anything, if they've had labs done with a primary care doctor, any history on all that too, but kind of like recommendations, like, what's the next step? What should I look at? Should I be doing, a lab course? Should I be looking at something else? And that is all. It's a question answer format. Your answer is back in 1 to 2 hours. And it's really right there on your Evexia portal. Okay. So there'll be a little message letting you know on your account when that's ready. I'll send you an example of, and I get this pretty much every day, like, I don't want to ask a dumb question. I don't know how detailed I need to be with that. So I'll give you just an idea of some sample questions and how he responds back, but he's really thorough with that. That is a free service with Evexia. And what's nice with that too is, you have an answer back generally within a couple hours. It's all in your support request. So you can go back in and be like, oh, I asked a question about Betty Lou a year ago, and you can see your question and his answer and your question. You can go back and forth with that. So that's really what we offer, either the live consultation or using the support request kind of email chat. Okay. With that.
And then I saw that you guys suggest some nutraceuticals as well. Is that a part, like, how does that work, I guess?
So, we do carry Evexia nutraceuticals. It's the only product line we do. It goes hand in hand with the functional health report that goes over optimal ranges and nutrient index with all that too. So that functional health report is free with Evexia nutraceuticals, which you have the ability to purchase we private label Designs for Health. So that's what what it looks like, with a nice Evexia bottle on the top of that. However, Jensen, we have a lot of people that like our functional health report, but they really like Zymogen, or they like orthomolecular. They love standard process. They only work with Apex. Every patient's different. Every client, people make different product, with all that too. So that functional health report, you're able to order. You order it after your labs come back, and it's only based on blood chemistry. So you don't get a functional health report or organic acids or Dutch. It is all based on that blood chemistry with that. And when that comes back, there's a link or a line right in your Evexia account that'll say order functional report. And when you click on that, it's going to open up a tab that'll say, you can order this report with Evexia Nutraceuticals and the report is free, or it's going to let you, there's little bubbles in alphabetical order. You pick Apex, Biotics, Biogenetics, Designs for Health, Numedica, Orthomolecular, PRL, Zymogen, I'm sure I'm missing one or two, Numedica, generic recommendations. So you can run that report with generic.
Great.
And then, basically understand what you need for adrenal or gastro or zinc. And then based on that, you get that report that's not going to give you any product line specific with generic, but then you can kind of work with, full scripts or Thorne or whatever you like to do with that. And then of course, you've got your functional health report that'll give you recommendations or the protocol based on that blood chemistry. And then of course, there's a patient report that doesn't carry that. It goes right into their blood chemistry, optimal ranges, nutrient index, all the rest of that report. And I think you only saw a clinician report with Evexia Nutraceuticals. So is there anything you like? I mean, I have a report with Zymogen, Ortho, Biotics, just what it looks like.
I tend to use Biotics.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I like pure encapsulations too,
Mm-hmm.
personally, but I don't know if that's one of your options. I would probably go with the generic because I like full script with my clients.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And again, that's, it's just going to give you that, you're not going to have to guess at that to kind of be like, oh, this is what we need, with all that. So, and then the patient report doesn't carry that, or the client report really doesn't carry that well. It just goes right into their blood chemistry, all of that. What's nice with that functional health report is if you do repeat labs 6 months later, 9 months later, you're going to see a side-by-side comparison, homocysteine, thyroid, magnesium, lipid, TSH, whatever that's going to be. And then again, have that chance if you do repeat labs to be kind of fine tooth that. What else do we need to look at? What the be able to see where improvements have been made, on those labs from April to October, or the next year with all that too.
yeah.
And that compares back-to-back labs up to 7 different reports.
Okay.
With all that too. We put your logo on it, make it all kind of nice and personalized. No cost to that. Not that it looks horrible. It just says Evexia Diagnostics on the top with our logo. So if you have a logo, we'd like to add that to the functional health reports. So you have all that. So that's kind of how that works, and support requests. So we kind of went over the Dr. Sedano and the way that support request works.
Okay. Yeah, this might be a bit of an obscure question, but so I have some clients that have gotten that complete blood panel from their doctor. Is it possible to send in their results to you to get that functional report and pay for it? Like if you didn't order it through?
Yes.
Okay.
Although we don't have a way that they can pay Evexia for it. So they have to pay you something for it. With that. But when you have a chance, and back on those trial credentials, there's a section, I think it's going to be to the right-hand side. I can get that over to you, but you can order, it'll say external functional health reports. It's a functional report upload. So there is a tab that you can upload outside labs. It'll say, do you have labs that were not done through Evexia Diagnostics? It will let you know that is $25 for an external functional health report. It does say give us a day, where it doesn't really take us a day to do it, but we are basically taking that result, we're entering every unit value, double checking it, triple checking it. It takes us over an hour to do those functional health reports with all that too. But yeah, it's right on your section that you're either uploading a report, and it has to be a PDF. It can't be like page 1, page 2, page 3. So it's kind of an upload, and it'll open that up and say, do you want to run this report with generic recommendations? Do you want to run this with Biotics? You're picking that, and it does tell you that it is $25.
Perfect. Okay.
For that functional health report. And there are some minimum requirements. All the way until October of last year, anything that was blood chemistry, that is a panel that had a CBC, a CMP, and a lipid qualified for the functional health report. So Dick and Weatherby, and just, there's some changes that were made in October that there's minimum requirements, and I can get that over to you, but there needs to be a magnesium in there now. There needs to be a TSH, there needs to be ferritin, iron, and hemoglobin.
Okay.
plus a TS, plus the
And I saw an
CBC and limit.
A1C as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, hemoglobin
Oh, yeah.
A1C with
Yeah.
that. Otherwise, we do reject those.
Okay.
And just because every once in a while we'll let one slide and be like, okay, well, magnesium wasn't on there, and we would still do that. Or we'd say, if you've got lab values that are within 30 days from external lab, and you want that client to go back and just get their TSH or ferritin, whatever was missed with that, then we can combine we can do that, but it has to be within 30 days only.
Okay.
Yeah, we can't take a lab from a year ago, mix that together, with that. But there is that functional report upload section that's on there.
Great. Perfect. Okay. Well, I know we've already gone over our time, so I want to be mindful of that with you. But I am so thankful for you spending time with me today. And I'll go ahead and, what do you need from me to get fully set up, I guess, beyond the trial credentials?
Yeah, there is a link that I will email to you. It's almost kind of the same place that you signed up for trial credentials with all too. You can sign to register pricing, and then there's also a link, Join Now, that takes you through that. We've got like discount codes and coupons with different groups with that. Were you FDN? No.
FNTP.
Okay. And what was it, a Facebook group or
Yeah, I think
an,
I typed in one from ACEVA in our Facebook group, ACEVA.
oh, Asiva.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I say it wrong.
Asiva, but you're not like you're not an Asiva products or a practitioner with Asiva.
No.
Okay. And you can kind of go in there and gives you like discount codes and how you take that 250 off, which we just can waive anyway with that. So I would prefer that I send you the link to sign up. In the subject line, it's going to say waive enrollment fee, Jensen, Schoonover. My client setup team is included in that. And it just, the subject line says waive enrollment fee, $50 only. We do charge a $50 annual fee. Everybody pays that. Some people wish that they don't, but I say the services that we offer and the time that we're available Monday through Friday and the Ask the Doctor and just everything we do is, I think, really just top notch with what we do with that. So we'll still waive that $250, but so there won't be an enrollment fee. It'll be $250.
Great.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, $50, not
Right. Okay.
$250.
Yep. No
With all that too. There's a really nice client resources section also that's got this you saw the webinar series, or maybe look through some of that. There's these marketing solutions that we can co-brand, put your logo on it, one-page sheets on GI map, Dutch, organic acid, SIBO, one that goes over the functional health report, so click through that. A couple videos that we can co-brand, no cost to that. We just want a logo and what information. Sometimes people are very particular about their credentials, Jensen, Schoonover, comma, FNTP, comma, whatever's on there. If your practice name, sometimes people don't want a physical address on there if they work virtual. It's like just a nice place that you can kind of showcase, on your website, some of the labs and a little overview of what they are. So as clients are looking at you, they're like, oh, maybe a Dutch would be great for me, or maybe, with all that too. So no cost to that. We have a great creative director that does that. We just make that for you. Send it back to you high resolution. We keep adding one or two usually each week as we add a new lab partner. I think we're looking to bring on like 3x4 genetics. We won't work with Great Plains. I don't think we'll be doing anything with Cyrix or MRT. But we definitely look at other partners that we can bring on if it makes sense without too much overlap and if the price is right for that.
Okay.
You certainly, I say to people too, you could just do LabCorp if you want to, and you could maintain a relationship with Dutch or organic acids or whatever you want to do, or MRT, or with all that too. So you don't have to, have all of that go through Evexia. I think the reason of that portal is all that is just to give you as many labs that are available, like under one roof, one customer service, one place for credit card transactions, one place that your results are all there and you're not having to piecemeal and pull things from one site and have all that in one place.
Right.
So, there is a $50 annual fee, no minimum requirements. Everybody with Evexia pays the exact same price. And that's, I guess, really kind of it.
Okay.
Quick little overview.
Yeah. Great. This is great. Thank
You
you.
get,
so much.
you'll get a welcome letter. It'll have your username and password in it. It'll give you some of those links on how to create orders and marketing solutions, how Ask the Doctor works, a lot of those things that are in there. The welcome letter isn't signed by me. It comes from one of our two little setup girls. It does have my link to Time Trade in there. If you want an in-depth walkthrough, click on Joanne Iverson's Time Trade here. You don't have to do that. If you want to, you can. I still reach out to everybody a day or two after they get their welcome letter, because it's really important. Sometimes people can't find it, or it goes to spam, or they're like, yeah, I got it, but I didn't really see that I have to log in with a username and password with all that too. So I do reach out to everybody once they have their welcome letter from Evexia. If they haven't looked at trial credentials, or if they haven't, I haven't had a call with them, those are the ones that are kind of like, great, I have a username and password. I don't even know how to navigate through the site. How do I create an order? How do I order test kits? How do I get patient pay set up if I want that? So I do reach out to everybody with that. And that's it. If you know of anybody else that we can benefit from, have them sign up for trial credentials. They'll get a username and password. I'll bother them with those. Then I'll call them 2 days later. Or if there's, you want to connect me with anybody, introduce us an email and just be like, hey, Joanne, can you, meet Colleen? She's a fellow, blah, blah, blah. Send her trial credentials and connect with her on how she can use Evexia.
Sure.
So yeah, pretty easy, pretty straightforward with that.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I'll definitely be signing up soon, and I'll look for that link. And yeah, I'm really excited. Really excited.
Good.
Yeah, this is awesome.
If there's anything that I went over fast with this, or just reach out. I'm really pretty good on emails, for the most part, fairly timely. For some reason, I have like 10 time trades, and I've got some Zoom meeting tonight with a group of pharmacists, which I have to hop in the shower because that'll be videoed, and I need to get myself together for that. But today is just one of those days. It's like everybody was like April 12th, it was like 3:30 and 4 and 5 and 6 and all that. So usually I can reply to emails, in between that time a little bit better than I am today. But there's just a lot of great things we do. And I don't think you'll be disappointed by any means, with all that too. And I'll send you that link and sign up. And the trial credentials, I say they're good for 30 days. It won't let you order kits. Yeah, people try to do it. They log on, order Dutch, and they want Dutch kits sent to them, or they'll try to go into LabCorp and create an order. The point of that those trial credentials, is to kind of really give everybody an idea of what their account looks like, where the tabs are, how to navigate through, with all that too. We don't have like a price book that we just email or share. There's 1,300 tests with LabCorp. And then when you look at doctors' data and everything else we do, that the easiest way is to, have any of our practitioners that are interested be able to see kind of what the experience is, look over sample reports, see the webinar content and all that. But every day somebody's like, could you just send us a price list? I'm like, no, we cannot do that. A, it's too long, and this is the easy way to navigate through. So the trial credentials are good for 30 days, and then they expire. This happens frequently. Oh, I was looking at you in January and I never signed up, and now I just heard your name again on such and such a webinar. And people just sign up for trial credentials the next month or whenever they're ready, or I forward trial credentials over and say, no problem, let me just send you another set, and then connect all over again with all that too. So if you don't sign up within those 30 days, and don't feel like you have to wait 30 days.
Okay. Yeah.
You don't have to. That's just kind of there, that you can poke around. You can build custom panels, see a little bit more on Ask the Doctor and the marketing solutions, and, be able to kind of get an idea of all that too. But I will email that over, Jensen Schoonover. Mm-hmm. And it'll just say link to sign up, waive enrollment fee, Jensen, with all that too, and you'll get a welcome letter whenever. And please, if there's anything I missed, just email me back and be like, can you go over that again? Or I'll give you a call once you get signed up and go over any of that again.
Okay, no problem at all. Thank you so much.
Does that work for you?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
Okay.
Joanne.
Thanks so much. All right. Have a great week. Bye-bye.